Is this the best portable projector you'll ever find? It's the XGIMI Elfin Flip 4K, a laser projector with crazy high brightness that promises to be the one. But is it? We have a lot of testing to do, so let's inspect. Hi, great to see you, I'm Michael, and I keep backing my statement that now is probably the best time to get a new projector because the year-over-year improvements are massive. And this little guy over here is an X-Proof 4K 1600 ISO lumens, triple laser setup, Harman Kardon sound, optical zoom, name a spec that sounds good, and there's a decent chance that the XGIMI Elfin Flip 4K has it. Fair warning though, I like this one so much that if I base the review purely on how I feel about it, it would come out way too positive. So I'm gonna stick to the facts here and try to expose every imperfections you wanna know before spending real money on this projector. Speaking of money, XGIMI launches this at just $899 as an early bird pre-order price, and the start listing landing at $999 once the window closes, but it's too early to say whether that's a fair price or not. As always, I start with the thing that actually matters most, the projected image. You're watching this in 4K, running on default settings, and depending on your wall, your ambient light, and your own color preferences, you will probably want to tune a few parameters. XGIMI is generous about letting you adjust pretty much every picture setting there is. I would love the option to save my own custom presets though, that's a small but real gap they're still missing. Two things stand out here. First, the Elfin Flip 4K has passed SGS certification and covers the BT 2020 color gamut, which is noticeably wider than the standard Rec 709 space, meaning that it reproduces a much broader range of colors in 10-bit with HDR support on top. This is one of those projectors where it's pretty easy to put next to a TV in a dark room and not feel like you're missing out. Whatever you throw at it, it holds up. And yes, being a single-chip DLP projector, some viewers may notice a rainbow effect, but with XGIMI's laser precision at this tier, it's kept about as minimal as this technology currently allows. In short, image quality is superb, but picture is only one part of what makes a good projector, so let's look at the design next. You already feel it's gonna be good. The unit arrives well packed and protected. Surprise number one, not a good one though, there is no carrying case included, even though XGIMI bundles one with most of its current Horizon and Titan models. At the time I make the review, there is no case available as an accessory yet either, so for now we're waiting for third parties to fill that gap. The design itself feels familiar in the best possible way, solid grade of plastic and the signature gimbal stand where you set it on flat surface and tilt it to whatever angle you need, which remains one of the most convenient features XGIMI has ever put onto this projector. If there is no flat surface around, or you just want something unconventional, there's a 1/4-inch mount thread on the base, so ceiling mounting or any creative rig you can think of is fair game. A nice bonus of this folding design is that the lens stays fully protected when closed, which matters a lot on something marketed as portable. And the weight backs that up too. At just 1.55 kilograms, this is remarkably light for what's packed inside. Which brings us to the discussion about internals, and yes, it's up and running, powered on, and now it's gonna brighten up because it's gonna make the autofocus and the keystone correction most likely. And this is a serious step up from the original Elfin. XGIMI has pushed this product line into true, if not high-end territory, then at least upper mid-range segment. This is where we can start talking about one of the better compact 4K projectors on the market. 1600 ISO lumens, triple laser setup, and optical zoom, which is exactly why I might be comparing it to the Horizon Ultra towards the end of this video. Of course, there are some corners cut. The DMD chip inside is 0.39 inches, natively a 1080p chip, and it relies on pixel shifting in order to output the full UHD image. On the other hand, this specific chip appears to be a rather new one that Texas Instruments have introduced only recently, which makes the Elfin Flip 4K something like a first mover, which is pairing the newest and the smallest 4K capable TI chip with a folding, book-sized body instead of the cube shape that almost every competitor still uses. So that's a smart bet, and so far it's paying off. But there are more testing to perform. Autofocus on XGIMI equals near perfection at this point. There's honestly not much left to test, it just passes. Same story with keystone correction, which XGIMI calls uninterrupted keystone. I'd describe it more as continuous keystone, but either way, the projector's stability to adapt the image on the fly is excellent. Here is my one real complaint though. The Elfin Flip 4K supports optical zoom, the nicest surprise in this whole package, and the throw ratio runs a bit shorter than usual, which is great news for smaller rooms. But if you zoom in, manually adjust the keystone, and then accidentally bump the projector's position, the zoom resets back to default, and that's a bit annoying. It reinforces why saving your own profiles or presets would make so much sense here, and since this is a software limitation, there's real hope XGIMI fixes it down the line. Outside of that one hiccup, the optics are fantastic, the zoom works exactly as advertised, and the lossless crop up to 1.3 times is easily one of my favorite features on the unit. On the software and the processing side, you get MEMC for smoother motion in the right scenarios, plus HLG and HDR10 support. And then there's the sound handled by Harman Kardon. From here, the review gets a bit more technical, starting with the fan noise measurement. And now let me show you a quick pass with the thermal camera so you can see exactly where the chip sits and which parts of the unit run warmest. Overall, it stays quiet and doesn't build up much heat during normal use. On power consumption, running at maximum brightness pushes the adapter close to its ceiling. I mostly watched at brightness levels 5 or 6, and consumption stayed quite modest at that range. If you're planning to run a projector for several hours a day, power draw becomes a real factor eventually, and this is easily one of the most power-efficient devices per lumen I've tested. What you've probably already noticed is how responsive the interface feels. I actually assumed XGIMI has reused the same processor from the Horizon 20 line, but it turns out this is a slightly older chip built on Cortex A55 cores. Even so, XGIMI managed to trim the gaming mode latency down to almost nothing, just 1 millisecond, which makes this yet another 2026 projector that's clearly built with gamers in mind. Speaking of which, yes, you can hook up a PlayStation, since there are 2 HDMI ports on the board. You get also 2 USB ports, an audio output, plus Wi-Fi and Bluetooth for wireless connectors. Between all of that, you're well covered for whatever peripherals you want to run. There is clearly a lot to like here, but a few things land squarely in the drawback column. There is no carrying case included on a projector that is marketed around portability. There is no way to power it over USB-C. There is no battery-powered edition available yet. And the built-in speaker, while decent, is on the weaker side. A few more watts would have gone a long way. But is it the best projector out there? No, it isn't. But if we frame the question correctly, is it the best portable compact projector that gets you close to a static home cinema setup? Then the answer is absolutely yes. You're getting roughly 90% of the Horizon Ultra experience in a body that you can actually carry between rooms. And for its size, this is unbelievably capable and has quickly become my favorite projector to date. I had a soft spot for the original Elfin Flip, but never really used it much since it lacked Google TV. This new generation fixes that, covers pretty much everything I'd want from a projector this size. It is close to a masterpiece, and honestly, the model I have the fewest complaints about out of everything I've tested in the past few years. And I obviously can't speak about long-term reliability yet, but given XGIMI's record, there is no reason to expect it will lag behind the rest of the lineup. If there's anything specific you want me to test, let me know soon. Well, I still have the unit around. Thanks for sticking with me through this whole video. Remember, this is a review. Tech always looks exciting and tempting, but it costs real money. And money is something we trade time in order to earn. So spend your time and money wisely and only buy gear if you're confident you're gonna actually use it. I've got plenty of more reviews exposing the real world truth about tech. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel. My name is Michael. Take good care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.